All right, good morning, everybody. Honored to have you all here. We've got a lot of exciting news to share with you. Knightscope, we're developing technology to literally, in the long term, be able to predict and prevent crime. You may not know that crime has a $1 trillion negative economic impact on the United States every single year. It's a hidden tax we all pay in blood, tears, and treasure. And our long-term ambition is to literally be able to make the United States of America the safest country in the world, changing everything for everyone. If we do that, the impact on housing prices, the impact on insurance rates, the safety of your family, the viability of your local business, everything changes for everyone. And we've got a great start on building that foundation. So there's this interesting little media talking point that the machines are coming and the world's going to end and everyone's going to die and they're going to take your jobs. So that's not the case, as much as everyone keeps wanting to print that. The reality is here, our strategy is decidedly a software plus hardware plus humans approach. There are 1 million law enforcement professionals and 1 million security guards that get up every morning on our own soil and are willing to take a bullet for you and your family, and the level of technology that we provide to them as a country is certainly beneath the dignity of this nation. And it's high time we give them really smart eyes and ears for them to be able to do their jobs. So do the math real quick. You've got 2 million people trying to secure 320 million people. The math actually doesn't work. We need new ways to be able to combat the very volatile environment we unfortunately now live in. So let's start with the K5 that you've probably seen a bit of news coverage around. So this is our outdoor machine. Fortunately, we've been now operating in the field for quite a long time. The machines have operated collectively over 100,000 miles and operated over 180,000 hours. We are the worldwide leader in commercializing autonomous technology or self-driving technology in the real world with real clients doing real work under real contracts. So we're very proud of that. The K5 has also now, we've started scaling it across the country. We hold 45 contracts with nearly 36 clients across 8 states and 3 time zones. So having these machines operate in the real world is a big challenge. It's very easy to build a demo, as I like to say. It's very easy to build a prototype. You want machines running out in the field 24/7, in the rain, at night, with people, cats, dogs, sheep, and I don't know what else we've seen. That's a whole other level of engineering. And fortunately, again, we've been doing that for a couple of years. We've actually some crime-fighting wins. Frankly, I didn't expect that to happen for a couple more years. We've helped a law enforcement agency issue an arrest warrant for a sexual predator. We helped a security guard apprehend a thief in a retail establishment. We stopped a fraudulent insurance claim. We've also been able to help a corporate client catch a vandal. And the list goes on and on and on. So we're actually making that impact and true to our mission. So moving on to the K3, which came out about a year plus ago.
Hello. Do not judge me by my size.
Okay. He's got a little bit of an attitude. So 4 foot tall, so the K5 is 5 foot tall, 3 foot wide, 400 pounds. This one's intended for indoor usage. 4 foot tall, 2 foot wide, about 340 pounds. And we've got the rest of this discussion is going to be around what's coming. So one of the things that we're working on is audio event detection. So our strategy is to give security guards and law enforcement professionals really smart eyes and ears for them to do their jobs more effectively. And have the machines do the computationally heavy and monotonous work that no human could ever possibly do, and then let the humans do the decision-making and enforcement. So one of the things about listening is this machine has an array of 16 microphones underneath it that will allow us to do 3 very interesting things. First is to develop an AI concierge, to actually have a person be able to have a 2-way dialogue with the machine. Second, to learn what different sounds, and probably a good way to explain this is the opposite of voice recognition. So everyone that's working on voice recognition so you can make a good phone call while you're driving wants to drown out all that sound in the background, right? All that sound in the background is really, really interesting to us. Can we learn what footsteps sound like? Can we learn what a gunshot might sound like? Can we learn what glass breaking sounds like? Or a car starting? Or a cell phone going off, and then learning over time what is quote-unquote normal in this environment. And then that's going to be very interesting for a guard then to have that kind of information. And then the more interesting thing is, can you localize the sound? The gunshot came from that direction. The glass broke from that direction. So that's some of the interesting things that are coming for 2018 with the K3. That brings us to the K1, which we are going to start shipping in 2018. And Vanna White here is going to unveil that for us now. So the K1 came to fruition based on client demands and desires and wants and needs. One of the unfortunate things that we've learned is there's a lot of weapons being carried in areas where weapons aren't supposed to be. And I'll get on the soapbox just for 1 second here. I don't believe the founders of our country ever expected us to build a society where going to work, going to school, going to a movie theater, or going to a mall literally came with the risk of being shot or killed. That is not the society that we're supposed to have built. And so one of the opportunities here is the obvious one would be at an airport or a luggage area where we can detect a concealed weapon. So it's a similar technology to when you're going through the airport, you got to kind of raise your hands. Similar technology in a much smaller form factor to be used in sensitive ingress and egress points. Another big demand is around hospitals that operate in, let's say, very difficult environments where if it's a gang-infested location, there's a lot of shootings, and then unfortunately the rival gang wants to end up coming to the hospital and finishing off what they started. That is not appropriate stuff to be happening at a hospital. The hospitals in a lot of cases can't afford that large set of technologies that the TSA provides the airports. So we've come up with a solution. We'll start shipping in 2018 for a lot of the healthcare industry, airports, any sensitive ingress, egress location. This is a stationary machine. So these two operate indoors and outdoors on their own, including autonomously recharging. This is a supplement, again, to give the guards really smart eyes and ears for them to do their jobs much more effectively. We'll also have optional radiation detection capability on that machine, and as you can imagine, we can start adding more and more capabilities over time. So WMD, threat detection capability for biochemical, radiation, and pathogens are all on that product roadmap for the long term. Then, that brings us to the K7. So we've got a number of clients that have perhaps more difficult terrain, so the K3 and K5 are suitable for ADA compliant areas, wherever a wheelchair might be able to operate. But some folks have gravel, some folks have sand, some have dirt, and so we thought we'd come up with a little something for them, and Stacy's gonna unveil the K7 here for you. So the K7's intended the K7's intended for multi-terrain environments. One of the things that you're going to witness here is the ability to do effectively holonomic steering or move like a crab, unlike a normal pedestrian or vehicle that you might purchase out in the field. So this is, again, the commercialization of self-driving technology for actual applications in the environment. So one of the things you want to think about is really large areas where you might have an airfield, 3,000 substations for power utility companies, airports, wind farms, solar farm, oil, gas, distribution, and being able to cover a lot larger ground with even more significant sensor payload. And so we're going to start shipping this in beta prototype format early in 2018. Obviously, this is a very complicated set of technologies on top of the platforms that we've already been building. And we're pretty excited about that, and especially those wheels. All right. So with that, I'm happy to take your questions, and hopefully you can see that we mean what we say, and we do what we say, which is try to do our part in better securing our country. Thank you.